Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns, and World Health Month 2023 and India's G20 presidency in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. This week, we have a few weekly commemorations. We have Administrative Professionals Week, which is annually every last full week in April, and this year it will be observed from April 23rd to 29th, dedicated to recognizing, applauding the brilliant work of administrative personnel, receptions, secretaries, administrative assistants, executive assistants, personal assistants, customer support, among other administrative professionals. So administrative professionals power the corporate world in untold ways, and for every spoken and unspoken thank you, this week represents perfect opportunity to make amends. Originally established as National Secretaries Day in 1952, in efforts to celebrate secretaries and their significant contributions to the workplace, after undergoing several changes, APW came into existence. The importance of administrative department cannot be overemphasized and spans various duties, thereby ensuring the smooth running of the organization on a day-to-day basis. The Administrative Professionals Week, established by International Association of Administrative Professionals, IAAP, in 1952, traces its roots to the National Secretaries Association, NSA, in the first National Secretaries Week, now known as Administrative Professionals Week, was held. The National Secretaries Association was established in 1942, and it was set up as an initiative to recognize the importance of all secretaries to the corporate workplace, as well as showcase the field as a worthy profession, call for more intakes. It would be in 1981, became Professional Secretaries Week and later Administrative Professionals Week, APW. In 2000 came about. Before this, in 1965, National Secretaries Week was moved to the last full week of April. So National Administrative Professionals Day, also known as Secretaries Day or Admin Day, is celebrated on the Wednesday of the last full week in April annually. Key figures behind the movement of administrative professionals week are Mary Hank Barrett, founder of the National Secretaries Association, as well as National Secretaries Day C. King Woodbridge, President of Dictaphone Corporation, together with public relations, account executives at Young and Rubicam, Harry F. Clemfus and Darren administrative professionals need certain qualities, have to have a wide range of skills, including good communication skills, interpersonal skills, time management. They need to be highly organized and have an eye for detail, among others. In 1941, when a law was issued making it legal to have women in the workplace, women were allowed to work in the office. Administrative jobs today have more repute. Way back, administrative duties were merged with secretarial jobs, were assigned basic tasks such as coffee making. Today, it comes with more opportunities, including career advancement. An administrative officer in the US earns an average salary of $76,425 per year. It was first known as National Secretaries Week upon launching in 1952. While it is celebrated in US, Canada, Hong Kong, and Malaysia annually on the Wednesday of the last full week of April, New Zealand celebrates the third Wednesday of April, Belgium, France, and Netherlands, third Thursday of April, etc. So this day reminds us to accord staff respect, urges us to advocate for commensurate pay, and begs for more opportunities. And this week is also commemorated as International Wildlife Film Week. The mission of the festival is to promote awareness, understanding, the knowledge of wildlife, habitat, people, and nature through excellence in the film. The long-standing festival encourages wildlife filmmakers and challenges expectations about how we conserve wildlife and habitat, taking into account the several climate change problems and their irreversible consequences. This festival is highly important. It raises awareness about how essentially it is to take care of our planet and ensure survival of all different species that live in it. The festival is full of packed theaters and sharp audience that want to learn more about themselves and the world we live in. So filmmakers expect lively question and answers, to have engaging panel discussions and a case jovial atmosphere. This gives people the opportunity to ask questions about how wildlife films are recorded. Among the guests, there are top-notch filmmakers and producers, cutting-edge conservationists or biologists and environmentalists. The staff at the festival is well known for efficient communication and programming for delivering a fun festival experience. IWFF has a collaborative spirit and offers opportunities for many national conservation partners to be involved in post-film screening discussions and day trips through Western Montana. The festival continues to offer international audience a chance to watch the films, owing to success of the virtual programs in 2020 and 2021. IWFF and the Roxy Theatre have a special relationship. This theatre was founded in 1977 at the University of Montana. The festival is the first and the longest running event of its kind. Chuck Jonkel, the theatre's founder, sought to highlight films that demonstrated ethical filmmaking when he founded the festival. The Roxy Theatre, home to LWFF, began operating in 2013 as a year art house theatre and began extensive collaboration with the university, business, and community, serving a diverse and all ages population with broad programming. A unique historic venue with incredible resources, the Roxy has 4 cinema screens, a micro cinema, an outdoor movie garden, 35 projection, state-of-the-art sound systems, and 2 stages. IWFF considered the Rocky Theatre its home. So on this occasion, Wild Film Week, International Wildlife Film Week, watch a wildlife film or go to a wild walk or go to a wild fest and actively participate. So it requires a constant movement. Sometimes taking a good shot requires constant moving and movement and repositioning the camera more than once. And it is physically demanding. This is because of the environment in which the movie is being recorded, like jungles, forests, or the ocean. For the animals to be bothered, filmmakers have to wait for a long time in blinds, which is a style of camouflage. So it means waiting for a long time. Animals cannot be controlled, and there's no certainty about how they will behave. So it's risky as well. And choices have to be made about what sequences are appropriate for the story. As in any film, shots are not chosen randomly. So wildlife films allows us to see what is beyond human beings. They show us that there are multitudes of animals and ecosystems on our planet. Nature relieves stress. Research shows that just observing nature and animals can reduce tension and promote a feeling of well-being, and wildlife films offer that. These films raise awareness about the importance of taking care of planet. It is only our home. This week is also commemorated as Medical Laboratory Professionals Week in US. Which highlights the vital role played by laboratory professionals in the field of medicine. The Medical Laboratory Professionals Week, MLPW initiative, inaugurated in 1975 by the American Society for Medical Technology, now the American Society for Clinical Laboratory Science, ASCLS in short, was dubbed National Medical Laboratory Week, NMLW, upon inception. The medical laboratory science field is crucial to the healthcare system. And although hugely unrecognized, the important work of lab professionals, testing, diagnosing, and treatment process goes a long way in saving lives. This week is also commemorated as National Crime Victims' Rights Week in the United States. Which is both major authority figures and support communities across the US. So every year, a different theme is set to be discussed in the outreach programs and committee meetings. In 2022, the chosen topic was rights, access, equity for all victims, when the focus of the event was to ensure that the victim communities had awareness of their rights, the resources available for them to reach out, and they are not going through any further abuse or mistreatment, and they are to be treated equally in every situation. So the first time National Crime Victims Week was observed in 1981 under the guise of the US Department of Justice. After its establishment in 1988, the Office for Victims of Crime, OVC, took over and has since been in charge of its organization and performance. The goal of OVC is to administer the Crime Victims Fund, which supports services and outreach programs across the country that focus on lending a helping hand to crime victims through their recovery. This week is held every year in April and is organized not only by the OVC, but by local authorities and even community built committees. which anyone who is engaged in the neighborhood or an association can be part of this, responsible for planning, promoting different kinds of activities for the public. Such events can include speeches given by authority figures or even crime victims themselves, as well as talks about topics that fit within the range of chosen theme for the year. This week is also commemorated as National Infertility Awareness Week in US. Which is observed most often before Mother's Day in May, is significant observance that aims to raise awareness about infertility, the non-existent support structures and challenges those encountering fertility face. Infertility is a common challenge that doesn't discriminate, affecting anyone regardless of race, religion, sexuality, or economic status. The initiative encourages sharing of infertility stories or reproductive issues to change the narrative and get the necessary support and make the journey easier. Women should not be left alone in the struggle. Infertility is highly stigmatized in today's world, especially in the Black community, pushing forward a change in narrative, urging for these challenges to be talked out, removing association, stigmas, and barriers, and building families. Resolve the National Infertility Association kickstarted the National Infertility Awareness Week movement, raising awareness about the significant lack of access to family building options and emotional support for the millions of men and women struggling to build a family. This week is also commemorated as National Library Week in US to promote local libraries and their workers. Libraries are pivotal to society, to both universities and to schools. Celebrating them means celebrating silent reading or communities getting into college. Therefore, it's an obvious good deed. The National Libraries Week. Let's look back on our love for the smell inside an old book and wholeheartedly thank our local public libraries. In 1954, a non-profit book committee was established by the American Library Association, ALA, and American Book Publishers. National Library Week was first sponsored in 1958, and the week-long event was developed with the intent to motivate people to read as well as to support and show appreciation to their local libraries. This yearly affair is also doubtedly sponsored by the American Library Association, who decided that this week be observed every April, and sets out the aims of the week were described as ambitious. Some goals were thought to be overzealous. Things like expecting this week to improve American household incomes and health, and helping to develop strong and happy families. This week is also commemorated as National Princess Week in US. And a princess is a female member of a royal family. It could be a title given to a young woman who has a high rank or standing in a community. In the contemporary world, but you do not have to be a daughter of a king or a queen, the wife of a prince, or an elite to be part of this week-long affair. National Princess Week was created to celebrate the princess inside all the girls and women, and to celebrate their strengths and awesomeness. The word princess originated from the Old French princes, and through the Latin word princess, which is actually derived from the elements primus, first, and Capico to says the word princess is mainly used to address a female royal daughter. It all began on April 23rd of 2012. This week is also commemorated as National Scoop the Poop Week in US, and this holiday was created by the Association of Professional Animal-Based Specialists to remind us of our daily duties as pet owners to clean up after them. This week also raises awareness about the environmental importance of cleaning our animal waste. So today we are talking about a topic that is uncomfortable to talk about in more ways than one. So National Scoop the Poop Week combines two of some of the least favorite things, that is cleaning up after our pets and the poop. However, regardless of how much we do not like it, cleaning up after our cherished pets should be one of our top priorities. Aside from it being the logical thing to do, it is an eco-friendly way to live. Dogs and other pet waste cause a lot of damage to our environment over time when left unattended. Pet waste is a major source of bacteria, causing air pollution with pungent smells and carrying a host of diseases and worms that can be carried out by other germ-infested rodents or insects, or even pedestrians that mistakenly step in a random pile of poop. So we know by now you think leaving your pet's poop can serve as a fertilizer or can easily washed away by rain. Well, you are wrong. Pet faces is not a great source of fertilizer and is a non-point source pollutant. Also, when the rains come, particles simply get washed into our waterways and drainages, contaminating our water. The best way to get rid of your pet's poop is by flushing it down the toilet. The Association of Professional Animal Waste Specialists is a professional organization of pooper scoopers, and they created this week to remind us of our personal and environmental responsibility of cleaning up after our pets and animals. Although the regular culprits of not cleaning up after their pets are dog owners or pet owners, it was created as a general observance for all pet owners. Whether you own a cat, a pig, or even a horse, this week you are encouraged to make up cleaning up after your animal a top priority. Plastic bags are effective and one of the most popular ways to clean up after your dog. Dog owners often pick up faces in plastic bags, which are then disposed of in litter bins. However, this method is discouraged due to environmental effects of plastic on the environment. Plastic is not the easiest substance to decompose and does harm to the ecosystem. This is why pet owners are encouraged to find other creative ways to take care of their animal waste, like papers. They can use paper bags or some organic bags which are made of organic or naturally decomposing waste materials. Dogs and some other pets often have high protein intake in their diets. This means their poop is slightly more acidic than regular fecal matter. As it breaks down, the leftover nutrients become incompatible with the soil and plant needs, making it unsuitable for fertilizer. So pet's poop isn't a good fertilizer. So this week, clean after your pet, encourage scooping, hire a poop scooper. So there are also professional poop scoopers existing. So if you can't see yourself doing this work, some professionals can get the job done for you. The Association of Professional Animal Waste Specialists also offer this service, and you can find a poop scooper just for you by visiting their site. This week is also Sky Awareness Week. We celebrated this time of the year when skies are mostly clear and we can get most out of sky gazing. With the hustle and bustle of daily life, it is easy to get lost in our technological devices and not appreciate the nature surrounding us or above us. But once we take the time to look up, we are instantly mesmerized by the shape of clouds and the spectrum of colors in the vast sky. So this week aims to get people away from their phones and cooped up spaces and go out to look at the sky. To help make this a habit, the whole week is dedicated to looking up at the myriad of formations and patterns against the backdrop of a soft hued sky. It is said that we need awareness about the sky. Technology is great, but it has shifted humans from appreciating the simple things in life. Hustle culture has also reduced our attention spans, which is why it is so important to step out and get lost in the colors and patterns of the vast sky above. Sky gazing is therapeutic, and with time, one can even learn to identify the weather signals. This week is also commemorated as International Creator Day, which is a global initiative that celebrates a significant contribution that the social media content creators have made to the lives of people around the world. With over half of the world population using social media and content being uploaded every second for a waiting audience, 500 hours of content are uploaded to YouTube every minute alone. Today is an important day to recognize people who make all of that possible, the creators. So International Creator Day was established to show appreciation and spread awareness about the powerful influence and content creators have around the world. In our very connected global community, content creators are fast becoming digital bases for individuals to gather around to learn, grow, and feel connected to a community or message that they cannot access in their geographical location. So Content Creation Day takes many forms, and with the growth in monetized digital content, content creation has evolved over the last few centuries. However, the end of the goal is to generate interest in the product with intention to sell remains there. Content creators play an important role in establishing online digital communities. Content needs to be appropriate, relevant, and have specific outcomes to qualify an audience and maximize potential revenue. So in the 1700s, Benjamin Franklin wrote an annual publication to promote his printing business, Poor Richard's Almanac. This is considered to be the first instance of real content creation that can be linked to the content that individuals and companies are publishing or posting today. The rise of social media platforms and the ensuing global buy-in to multiple digital platforms began to take hold internationally in the mid-2000s. From there, interest and applications have skyrocketed, with billions of users making use of these apps as most platforms begin in merge while remaining to optimize from one another. The global community is spoiled for choice when it comes to following and finding unique content creators who stay aligned with their personal needs. International content creators are here to stay, and although their impact on the society is diverse, they are making an impact and deserve for their contribution. Today is also commemorated as Canada Book Day in Canada, promoting reading books and literacy. And it is a nationwide celebration of literacy that also tries to promote education among young citizens. Books are man's most steadfast companions. They offer comfort on sad days and also add to our joys and happy days. Reading also makes us compassionate, improves vocabulary, sharpens memory, and refines our comprehension skills. Those who read from an early age are also known to resist serious illness, such as dementia and Alzheimer's, better than those who don't. There are truly so many benefits to reading. So Canada Book Day, World Book Day, and Copyright Day were established in 1995 by UNESCO. All 3 days are observed on April 23. Coincidentally, the day also celebrate the works of pioneering authors such as Michael D. Cervantes, William Shakespeare, and Inca Gracilo de la Vega. Copyright Day is also a celebration of the publishing industry and the crucial role it plays in the advancement of social, cultural, and historical aspects of humanity. So the principal aim of all these days, Canada Book Day, World Book Day, and Copyright Day, is to raise awareness of the benefits of reading books. This day highlights the potentials of books and crucial role they play in imparting knowledge and value to the readers. These days reinforce the idea that books are our windows into different worlds, and they help us to be thoughtful and compassionate. On this day, every person, no matter their age, is encouraged to read books. Canada Book Day also acknowledges authors, editors, and publishing industry professionals who work tirelessly to bring us the best of the stories. So today is also commemorated as International Pixel Stain Technopeasant Day. Which was declared by author Joe Walton in the response to the remarks made by Howard Hendricks, where he stated that he was opposed to the increasing presence in our organization of the web scabs who post their creations on the net for free. The day, according to Walton, is to encourage writers to post professional quality work on the internet for free. This day celebrates all the writers and allowing them freedom to showcase their work to the public, not just to entertain or educate them, but to build profession and keep profession on display so that it can be appreciated properly. So today is also UN English Language Day and also International English Language Day. It is specially dedicated to creating awareness about the language history, as well as boosting proficiency for speakers all around the world. Along with Arabic, Chinese, French, Russians, and Spanish, the United Nations has created this holiday to promote cultural diversity and multilingualism. A wide range of activities like book reading, film reviewing, and quizzes are hosted by different organizations around the world to celebrate this day, whether you are a student or an adult. This day is meant to educate people of all ages about the beauty, complexity, and universality of language. So the origin of English Language Day started when the Germanic tribes invaded Britain during the 15th century AD. Today is also commemorated as Movie Theater Day in US. celebrates movie theaters and the thrills they bring into our lives. Today, movie theaters are more relaxation centers. They also offer a great avenue to the romantic dates, meet new faces, and hang out with friends or family members after a hard day work. Much more, some movies now premiere first at the theaters before they are released on other channels for sales and streaming. This underlines the influence and importance of movie theaters today. Sadly, with the advent of internet and proliferation of streaming networks, movie theaters now face extinction and low patronage. A movie theater, also sometimes known as called as cinema, describes a place where people go to see movies on a big screen. For over a century, movie theaters have served as a favorite spot to unwind, meet new people, and enjoy quality entertainment. On June 19, 1905, the first common type of public motion picture theater in the US opened in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Harry Davis and John Harris, owners of the movie theater, named their cinema Nickelodeon. The name was derived from the words nickel, the price of admission into the movie theater, and the Odeon, the Greek word for theater. Previously, there had been several attempts by different individuals, groups, and companies to bring relaxing entertainment to the people in the form of motion pictures in a film theater. Due to limited technology available in those days, Nickelodeon's first films were short films, only about 15 to 20 minutes long, showing as flickering shadows displayed on white sheets while they appear ridiculous today. They were a scientific breakthrough back then, and films were largely successful. As they grew in popularity, more theaters multiplied across the country, heralding what became the cinematic industry. Subsequently, color and sound films arrived in the 1920s. As the technologies improved, so did the size, architecture, clientele, location, ownership, and types of amenities movie patrons enjoyed. Such were picture palaces, drive-in theaters, optimized movie formats, and large multiplexes and megaplexes, theaters with more than 10 screens. With these innovations came popcorn, a favorite cinema snack, and other concessions like candy and soft drinks. Today, cinemas have facilities like air conditioning, comfy cinema chairs, restaurants, arcades, and exquisitely decorated interiors to attract customers and enhance the viewing experience. Today is also commemorated as National Email Day. A day to recognize email is long overdue. Email has changed virtually every facet of the society to celebrate the beauty of this technology. National Email Day is an initiative of the leading email verification and validation tool, Zero Bounce. This company chose the date of 23rd as a salute to Ray Tomlinson, known as the inventor of email. If you send mass emails, you invest a lot of time into perfecting every single message. The last thing you want to is for these messages to end up in the spam folder. So Zero Bounce understands the importance of email communication and helps vendors purge their mailing list, clean up inactive and unverified mail accounts, and boost metrics. So these are some of the just powerful deliverability benefits Zero Bounce offers. You can also reduce the chances of your email ending up in the spam folder by scoring your email database and testing your emails before hitting send. Scaling your business through email marketing has never been easier. So Zero Bounce is offering a discount of 23% off if you sign up between April 23rd and April 30, which is exclusively provided in this week. So Zero Bounce and marketing trends and mediums have evolved over time, but there is nothing comparable to email. However, Not all emails reach their recipient. Some end up in the spam folder, others don't even make it there. So we determine what determines where your email goes. An essential factor is the quality of your email list. Even in our platform, even every registration, every event, we see at least 10 to 20 emails being wrongly entered. That is a minimum, I'm telling, where all the emails get bounced and the mails are not delivered. And sometimes even there are more email addresses which are wrongly spelled or wrongly typed or wrongly entered, that blocks the entire list. So sometimes it doesn't go at all, saying a lot of unverified, and they get blocked, or otherwise entire mail itself lands up in spam. So that's why we stopped, because a lot of even mail servers also block email IDs, and a lot of issues come because this we are doing it in a daily basis. And even at times we are unable to send as the email servers. Whenever there are huge number of, these emails which are invalid, often the mail servers also block the mail IDs. So a lot of issues are there. So this is not a problem when you have huge mailing list servers or services. That is, again, that comes for big, big charge, because those are used by marketing companies, or agencies where they need services on a daily basis, so they can pay for that. But for us, it is not so much required, but we need to pay a lot. So that's why, most of your certificates and other things, they were initially, we were sending, but now they are not being sent because of the mistakes made by the participants. Now, so this is very important, being responsible, being accountable for our, because the more mistakes we do, the more privileges we lose over a period of time. That is what happening, because this is a day-to-day activity. Things have to happen day-to-day in time. If something goes wrong somewhere, the entire system gets stressed and overburdened, and that will impact even the quality of services, the time of delivery, the time and resources required. It in turn, the ultimate benefit goes to the end user only. So finally, the end user is only going to suffer. So that's why we have to take responsibility ourselves, so that we follow the instructions, we be careful while filling up the data, especially email address, so that, we do not make any mistake. And whether you are sending transactional email or marketing emails, it pays to check that the recipients are real by validating your email list. To reach the inbox and scale your business efficiently, Zero Bounce helps us identify bad contacts with 98% guaranteed accuracy. Of course, this is just because this day is commemorated and sponsored by Zero Bounce. There are many such softwares. We are not promoting anything as such. And be cautious whenever we are commemorating events. We are not, promoting any brand. But here, because that the event is promoted by that, there are many services like that which can be utilized. So here, to reach an essential factor is the quality of your email list, whether you are sending emails. It pays to check the recipients and are real by validating your email list. So to reach the inbox and scale your business efficiently, and helps you to identify bad contacts with 98% guaranteed accuracy. So more than 150,000 companies that use zero bounds enjoy greater sender reputation and see their mail return of investment increase. So you can try it, and there are many such services available, and it comes with 100 free monthly email verification. So you can verify 100 email addresses. Of course, there are also many manual and automatic email verifiers available on the internet. You can also explore. And you can also have email validation API to your registration forms. When people sign up, the API will authenticate their email address in a real time. Even now, Google also is verifying, because this lot of issues are coming up, and more, this burden is being increased. Now, Google is also verifying email ID when you are submitting Google forms. So that is also one way to avoid mistakes in email IDs. So this process will detect and remove poor quality contacts, inactive leads, and bots. Using the email verifier will reduce bounces, boost open rates, and increase your chances of landing in inbox. So now that your mailing list is clean, connect zero bounce email validation API to your registration forms. When your people sign up, this API will authenticate their email address in real time. The next step is to test your email for the best inbox placement. So zero bounce mail server detects misconfigurations, while the inbox placement tester tells you where your message will land with providers around the world, keeping testing until you are satisfied with your email deliverability. So it also tells you whether your sending domain or IP has been blacklisted. So this also happens when lot of email bounces or wrong email IDs or bad email IDs. The IP address also of the mailing server also blacklisted. So when we are sending, mails or certificates, or for that matter, or anyone, it doesn't reach your inbox. So that is also problem. So these are all different problems. We are like a frog in a well, and we think whatever we know is correct and whatever we know is everything. But there is a ocean, there is a universe beyond our imagination. So we often are not bothered about all these things that will create more problem. At the end, the end users are the ultimate users, are the ultimate losers. In fact, we will be like all will doing, window shopping. If not here, if we will go there. If not there, if we'll go somewhere, or if not somewhere, we'll end up in somewhere else. Like this kind of attitude, which we all are carrying in general. So that is creating a lot of problems, because we are not changing ourselves. We are not being disciplined. We are not being accountable. We are not taking charge of ourselves and our activities and our commitments. So we do not learn anywhere. So we find easy ways. And this this is a way where people get corrupted. Systems, systems also get corrupted, and they bypass all the procedures. And this is how society gets ultimately, corrupted and spoiled. And again, we ourselves come and say, the system is highly corrupt, and they don't follow a system, they don't follow a procedure. And who are the ones who are spoiled, who have initiated all these and who have corrupted the entire system? So it is we who have not followed instructions and, found ways to skip the procedures. And now who has to be blamed? So these are all the issues practically when we are very conscious about what we are doing. This will all help us to solve the problems. Maybe you can temporarily skip over, but how many, by doing window shopping or door shopping from one organization to other, you are only going to be getting more failures, in fact, corrupting the entire system or the entire universe. But what is the use ultimately? So it's like spoiling everyone and everywhere. So it should not be like that. We should always have proper good data. I mean, even in the form of communication also. When we have to do communication properly so that the details are correct, the email IDs are correct. The good news is that you can find out if that's the case with the blacklist monitoring service. These tool alerts, if you have been added to blacklist, so you can get delisted. So there, when it comes to email marketing, there are most well-known types of email marketing, which are more popular, like newsletters, transactional emails, and behavioral emails. So these email validation service and deliverability toolkits helps business filter their mailing list and score their email contacts and ensure that more emails land in people's inboxes. And these services by various organizations offer under different plans like pay-as-you-go rates and also subscriptions. And email marketing is a great way to reach your desired audience with impactful messages delivered straight to someone's inbox to get most of the marketing campaign. So learn more about powerful email marketing tools. And a common mistakes that are hurting, us and our brands are having a directionless email list. A random list of email address will not produce conversations or conversions. We see, this is common practice. People find, there are a lot of companies, especially in the COVID time, huge, even colleges, it has come to our notice, lot of colleges and we're selling this data, those who have attended webinars and lot of these things, they got lot of data and sold data for some, even just for 100 rupees. It came to our notice because we did one survey on the data companies, which we were working on the data privacy and security aspects. And we came to know that most of the data, these companies and these were selling out are procuring from these mobile operators who has the data, and also those who were conducting these webinars. In the pandemic time, every college, to promote, to advertise their courses, or even various industries to promote to continuously keep their brand running and keep their admissions going on, keep their services going on, because there was no offline and everything was online, and they need to keep their brand going. So there was no other option other than to conduct and give certificates so that they remember people. And that was a craze, like, there were a lot of memes circulated that people were carrying huge number of certificates. They need suitcases, they need almaras and lockers to keep their certificates. So many certificates they were earning daily. People were attending from morning to night. So many, they were accumulating so many certificates, and all those, and all these things were happening. So it was creating a huge data, on Microsoft Forms, Google Forms, and various other survey forms like SurveyMonkey and all other, these registration forms and feedback forms and certificate forms, all were across the world. This has generated enormous data. And, it was an easy way to collect data. You just go because, most of us, for silly things also, the people are highly corrupted and just for 100 rupees, 50 rupees, they sell off this data. So what happens, that data marketing people have got hands on that, and you get lot of mails from, even there are certain companies, if you just pay 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, you get the all details of, uh, professionals or students or research scholars. Say, suppose you need all the professors' numbers in India. Now there are a few database companies, they will sell you data, whatever you want, if you need all the associate professors' contact details. So they collect all the detail in all, legal and illegal ways and ethical and unethical ways, and they keep selling those data. And there are also certain groups we see, especially in WhatsApp, Telegram groups also. In our survey, we have also noticed that there are a lot of these professional groups that are created, for academicians group that, every discipline, some people have deliberately created groups and they collected huge data and they were selling data to marketing companies because they have all the data and they sell for all these marketing companies and colleges and educational institutes, those who are looking for promoting their books or their colleges. So a lot of things are happening behind. So these random lists, especially when you have a specific product to sell, so random list of email address will not produce, conversions. And emails with content that isn't bringing value to the reader will have minimum impact and engagement. So, and also you need to have specific content while you are marketing. For example, for us, there is no commercial listing interest. And, we just send whatever information is required, we will be sharing. But it's not like that. When you are doing a marketing, you should have planning. Every word or every character you include should serve some purpose, and it should be straightforward and targeting your purpose or aim, so that it will fetch you the consumer. So emails with content should be highly of value and worth to the reader, so that you get maximum impact and engagement. And sending mails too often or not often enough. Sending too many mails is a sure way to kill your engagement. Again, if you send too many mails every day also, what happens? Say, they will mark you as a spam, or even the system will mark automatically, these mail servers will mark as spam. And you may never find your mail in their inbox, or sometimes even in the spam also. So this keeps happening. That's why we have to be very careful, unless and until you are paying, so that everything like this are taken care of. Otherwise, we have to be conscious about these things. Of course, if you are using some free servers, that is fine. But even for them, again, there is a huge data that is being collected and misused. So if you are using some free services, they collect data, all the data, and they also sell it off because they are providing for free. So how they will generate income? So when they are generating free certificates for you, though we use our own system to generate, it is a program that creates. But in other ways, what you use online free certificate generators, you have to feed them with all the data, and that data is copied. They have a copy and they sell to marketing companies. That's how they make money out of it. So they have huge database where people are using to generate online certificates for free. And No, they generate and they collect the database and they sell it off. So they also make revenue and they also keep marketing, doing marketing and for various purposes. We see often always, our data is also compromised and these marketing people keep calling us saying that we have collected some data. They have their own ways of saying. Even it happened with me once, deliberately one number I gave, which was very much new number, which was taken for a different purpose, like this conference where one of the offline conference, so it was like helpline number. Temporarily we have taken, and that number we were just used on only one platform, which was there in the conference number, but we continued it for some period later also. So we have used for 2, 3 events. But later we found out that number has been only got through a specific purpose. And these marketing people were saying that you have filled that form and, we got from a shopping mall and you have inquired at our institute. All these marketing gimmicks they keep telling, but we know we never visited anything and we never gave that number personally. But these fellows, marketing fellows, they have own, because they have to some way, somehow, have to convince that we ourselves gave our number to them so that they do not again, stealing these numbers or illegally collecting these numbers can also be an issue. And even telemarketing calls with 2 unknown numbers can also be taxing. There is also 10,000 rupees fine if we give a complaint. Of course, they are also not that effective, though some action being taken, and some are like, they also bribe them so that their numbers are not blocked. So all these things are happening. Of course, things are there. This is what happens, people are looking around different ways instead of taking accountability of their actions and, taking responsibility of their actions, instead finding excuses and ways to get around. The entire systems get corrupted and systems are also fails. And we cannot blame again the system, because we are the ones who have corrupted and made the systems dysfunctional. So that's why even sending too many mails is a sure way to kill your engagement. However, if you disappear and then resume sending emails later, your subscribers will forget about you and mark you as a spam. So this is also keep happening. Those who are regularly sending, they know that their own set of problems. And according to National Client Email Report from the DMA, 77% of all email marketing return of investment was just the result of segmenting and targeting campaigns. So a lot of data mining and data analysis happens, segregating segmentation clusters among the data collected. Even you can find, just Google it, if you want some data of doctors, data of teachers, data of engineers, or data of marketing people, or data of marketing agencies, or data of assistant professors, or in say some engineering, or say some sociology, or say psychology, or anything for that matter, or specific engineering. You can find a lot of companies, they can give your set of data in Excel sheet or whatever format you want. You just pay them some, and that is also not huge. Some people give around few hundred, some people charge few thousands, but some also verify the data. Though some people buy and give, but some companies are there where they verify also, even if one email gets bounced. So they take the responsibility and accountability. So they keep regularly verifying email IDs and all other things. But those are very rare to find. I mean, they are there, but again, the costing is high. And also, uh, because of that high costing, what people do, they just go with other people. Okay, if some goes wrong, also what, that doesn't matter. So there are many ways and approaches. So your email must have a clear and compelling call to action. Most of the emails, are unclear to call of action. We just get mail, we read the entire mail, but we don't know what to do, or we are not persuaded to what needs to be. So no matter what is there in the email, but finally after the reading the email, you should know what should be done. Say suppose if you want, if you are sending an email to register, so at the end of reading the mail, the person should be, registering, or person should be buying, or person should be ordering. So there should be a call to action. What is the call of action for the email? Whether to subscribe, whether to buy, or whether to sell. So there should be a specific call of action. And there are some entrepreneurs for the futures tools. There are many tools like Zero Bounce and many others, email verifiers, to make operations and the scaling of business easy for them. And as I already mentioned, today is World Book and Copyright Day. To honor the day, organized by United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, to promote reading, publishing, and copyright. So this holiday was originally invented by Vincent Clavel Andres to honor Michael D. Cervantes, a notable Spanish author. Although this was officially inaugurated in 1955, its conception is traceable to the Spanish writer Vincent Clavel, who conceived the idea in 1922. He developed the holiday to pay tribute to the notable author because Cervantes was born on October 7th. World Book Day was declared for the first time on October 7, 1926. However, in 1930, King Alfonso XIII of Spain changed the date to 23rd, which is Cervantes' death date. So this holiday enjoyed great popularity, especially because April 23rd is also a feast day of Saint Jordi, the patron saint of Catalonia. So coincidentally, April 23 also marks the death anniversary of authors like William Shakespeare and Inca Garcilaso de la Vega. So these factors played a major role in UNESCO selecting April 23rd to celebrate its own World Book and Copyright Day in 1995. Today is also World Book Day, as a day of celebrating joy for reading for enjoyment, which was proposed by UNESCO. Again, children who regularly read for enjoyment have higher test scores, develop a broader vocabulary, increase general knowledge, and a better understanding of other cultures than their non-reading counterparts. Whether you read traditional paper-bound books or turn to Kindle, iPad, whatever you are reading, a passport to this and many other worlds. Support children with good habits, reading habits, and make sure they gather the right inform when they read online. So the enjoyment of reading books is celebrated on World Book Day. On April 23rd, it is a day to celebrate privilege of being able to read, to head to the library or curl up on the couch and just be bookmarked. So World Book Day was established by the UNESCO on April 23rd, 1995. This day was chosen because it is the anniversary of the death of William Shakespeare and prominent Spanish chronicler. And today is also book night. As we have seen a day, we also have commemoration of World Book Night. Night also we can study, read. So it's a special day that brings the power of reading to the spotlight, and reading helps you to be kinder. Reading can improve your brain function and knowledge, and studies have shown that adults who regularly read fiction are more likely to engage in charity and volunteer work. However, people do not often read books as they used in the past, and this night bookworm aims to change all that. Let's learn about history. Reading is for everyone, from children to older adults who need a cane and glasses to read. And reading is vital for everyone. With all difficulties of adulthood, people nowadays hardly have any time left to read in their busy lives. This might be due to various reasons, ranging from poverty, health concerns, and lack of books. World Book Night is here to change all that. So, Book Night has been around for a while. It aims to change the way adults view reading by encouraging them to read at night and giving them another option to take time to read. It also aims to help others read too by donating or giving away free books. It's an annual celebration of books and reading that brings people from all backgrounds together for one reason, or maybe for two reasons: reading and sharing the joy of reading. It was founded in 2011 in the United Kingdom and Ireland by Jamie Bing, MD of Canongate. It was originally celebrated in March, but a year later it was moved to April to coincide the UNESCO's International Day of the Book. So today is also World Laboratory Day. Highlights how these controlled spaces have benefited mankind since times immemorial. The fact that lab workers, researchers, and many others are also honored on this day. Laboratories have existed since ancient times, although they might not resemble the labs all pictured today. These labs range from anything involving home setups to alchemist workshops, and often included the preparation of medicine. The oldest lab the world has seen till now belonged to the famous ancient Ionian Greek philosopher and scientist Pythagoras. Of course, the term laboratory was not used exactly in this context. The Latin root of laboratory, laboratorium, meaning exertion, effort, or work, has been used since medieval times, but only related to the actual work or task. It's only took a version of the meaning as well as we all know it. The late 16th century, gradually referring to the specialized workshops of alchemists and apothecaries by the next century. Apart from that, we have some literary commemorations like National Cherry Cheese Day and National English Muffin Day. And today is one more animal day, that is National Lost Dog Awareness Day. So be the reason someone who celebrates, you help find missing their pet, to create more awareness on the missing pets and various measures that can be taken. And today is also commemorated as National Lovers Day in US. So you have a chance to show your companion how much they mean to you. And today is also National Picnic Day. So to have fun in open, and encourage more picnics. And we have also National Sovereignty and Children Day. It started in Turkey. And today is also National Take a Chance Day. The biggest risk is not taking one. So learn how to take a first step. And today is also a Pet Tech CPR Day. Animals have been found longer than we have. And while we may not know who is the first pet parent was, we can trace the history of pet healthcare to the development of veterinary science itself. So today is Pet Tech CPR Day. The name clues us in and who is responsible for instituting such a day. PetTech is an international training organization which claim to be the first of its kind in providing pet training for pet CPR and first aid care. So this is primarily aimed at dogs and cats. However, perhaps the training might prove useful for other pets too. There is no such thing as wasted knowledge anyway. So especially when it comes to health and safety. So the purpose of Pet Tech CPR Day is to remind people to stay abreast of and educated about pet safety. You just never know who, when needs to save the pet's life. And also, it happens to be the National Pet First Aid Awareness Month too, April. So thinking along the same lines, instituting Pet Tech CPR Day on April 23rd. While initially much focus was on health needs of horses, especially because of their role in the military, over this time, the study broadened to include domestic animals and then household pets such as cats and dogs. Today, the field of veterinary science encompasses animals ranging from livestock to exotic pets and wildlife. So ABC stands for airway breathing and circulation via chest compression. Vets recommend that this pattern to be followed for animal CPR. However, for human CPR, the opposite is recommended, CAB, that is chest airway breathing. So the three aims of animal first aid are similar to that of humans first aid. They are to preserve life, to help prevent any suffering, and to keep the situation from worsening or deteriorating. According to some sources, the first step is to breathe in your pet's nose with your mouth. This should be done until you observe the chest rising. Then the next breath is to be given. CPR should continue following a cycle of 30 chest compressions, then 2 rescue breaths, and so on, until your pet begins breathing independently. Every 2 minutes or so, you should check for a heartbeat. Today is also Shakespeare Day. We know that today is his death day. So that's all for today's commemorations. So see you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night. Before leaving, quickly fill up the feedback form. Thank you everyone for joining us. See you all tomorrow at the same time. And we have circulated the forms for the upcoming psychology conference, which is going to be held as proposed. Initially, we thought one day, but we thought, that time may not be enough. But again, we'll see depending on if there are more presentations, we will spread across. We thought, and moreover, nowadays, again, there are a lot of requirements also, like generally for various gaining these points and benefits. In academics also, nowadays, they are asking for various requirements. So based on that also, considering some requests, we also are planning out more 1 week or, minimum 5 days or 6 days programs. It all depends, based on the needs and requirements. Anyway, for us, every day is there. So it doesn't matter if we combine, any number of days for that matter. We can have adequate number of presentations or topics on that day. Even we can have 1 month also. If you have, adequate content available for so many days by different experts, or even if it is presented by a resource person as well. So for that, it doesn't matter, but for the convenience of our participants and presenters, at times, based on request, we are planning few multi-day events also. So initially, we will have celebrations as usual on 27th, and 28th and 29th, we have an offline conference here. That will be both online and offline. So you can join. Even that conference also, it's a Pure Earth conference, that is environment conference, which we call as Pure Earth Environment Conference, that is organized biannually 2 times a year. So that 27th, we are having this psychology conference, and 28th and 29th, we'll be having Pure Earth conference. And later on, again, we'll resume on 30th from 1st to 5th. So 1 day here, and the last day, 30th, is in between 2 days. We'll be busy with other conference. That is 2 days conference, and we'll have this 1 week. So do circulate. It's all like a win-win for us. Basically, it's the ultimate benefit is for you. So keep circulating the information and take. We're also coming, nearing to conclude the celebrations in August. So make best use of this opportunity. Spread the word. The more, at the end of the day, you want to be on a popular platform. So it's your responsibility also to spread the word and make it popular, because you are getting opportunities, and you also need to own or, be accountable or responsible like we all do. So keep sharing, keep inviting, and let's make it a bigger events in coming days. Thank you, everyone. Hope everyone has filled the feedback form. If not, quickly fill up the feedback form. And yesterday's conference, that will be, we are releasing certificates tomorrow, most probably today or tomorrow. will be getting these certificates. So those who have not filled, many has left in the night. So for them, you could have filled at least once or thrice, twice or thrice. If not, quickly fill up the feedback form which has been provided. Again, see, this is what happens, lot of work load gets increased. Anyway, we'll issue those, whoever has completed the formalities, and those who missed out or messed up with the procedures, we'll see for them later on, because we cannot keep everything pending. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Good night. So we are closing.